You are watching the Pan-African Daily TV with Dr. Susan Tata. The Africa we want: unity, consciousness, our culture, our spirituality, our history. One Africa for Africans worldwide. Motherlands calling its diaspora home. Join my voice. Join my team. Join my campaign. Campaign 21 hashtag 1 million subscribers on the Pan-African Daily TV YouTube. Be a volunteer. Apply now. Be the new Africa.
Yes. Welcome. This is Pan-African Daily TV. My name is KWAME GONZA. Today, I'm the presenter, and I just want to thank Dr. Susan for this opportunity that she created for us to be able to push our narrative, to put out our narrative, and to own our narrative as the African people and the African youth for that matter. I want to thank you, all people who are watching on YouTube, who are watching on Facebook. It is very important for us to support these networks because in the past, we have seen how Africa has been, blackwashed, or it has been sort of a bad narrative has been pushed for a long time about our continent. So it is high time for us as Africans to correct that narrative. Today, I want to talk about the topic today will be connecting our history to today's events and then the way forward. I want to speak about the way forward for us as a continent, as a people, as African people, and especially the youth who I represent, who are the next generation. The youth will be the next old people in next 10, 20, 30 years. So I want to focus so much on the youth, and especially also the youth are constituting around 70% of the population on the continent. So it is very, very important. It's a very very important segment of our people on the African continent and in the African diaspora. So I want to greet you. Before I begin, I want to say subscribe to the channel. We are on a campaign, hashtag 1 million subscribers on this channel as we are going forward, so that Dr. Susan can continue to serve the African people. So I want to say greetings. We are going to look at what can we do as Africans today when we look at our continent. The continent, the situation in which it is not satisfactory. We all know that the continent is in a state that is wanting, something is missing within the Africans, within our hearts, as especially the youth who I want to focus on. We are not satisfied with the state of our continent. Okay, so but if we are not satisfied with the state of our continent, the disrespect, the economic progress, the political affairs of the continent, the wars on the continent, how did we come here, and how can we, marshal up our energies? How can we mobilize ourselves to take action, and what type of action are we going to take, when it comes to our continent and all our people around the world? And when I say our people, I mean all African people around the continent and then around the world, the so-called African American, who are African people, the Caribbean people, all these are African people. So what can we do, all of us as a collective, as African people? How can we act together? What is it that we can act on together to move forward? There is a couple of things which I will present, as we go on in the show. There is a couple of things that we have come up with, and we are working on vigorously. And all these, they lead us towards the unification of our continent the improvement of the situation of our continent. We have started working, so you need to stay tuned for you to be able to understand what I'm talking about. What is it that we are going to be doing? But first of all, if you are watching and you have not subscribed to the channel, I need you to subscribe, like, and then most importantly also comment down, because we are going to be handling the issue of how it is important for us to act together, but we are going to pull from history and look at how our ancestors acted during their time. We are going to go back as far as 1600. We are going to go back as far as the 17th century, and then even sometimes we'll go back even up to the 18th century, around the 8th century or the 17th century, around that period. Now, today, there is things which are going on in the world, and these things, they deserve our attention. We have seen what is happening in Ukraine as the situation has been going on. We have seen what happened in Ethiopia. We have seen what happened in Mali. We have seen what happened in Burkina Faso. Okay, we saw what happened in Europe during the Brexit, where Britain came out of the European Union. We have seen the yellow jackets demonstrate on the streets in France. How are these events all connected, and how do they warrant the attention of the Africans? How do they, affect us as Africans? Let me go back to the year 1791. In the year 1791, there was a revolution in Haiti, a country called Haiti, which was called San Domingo during that period. That country started struggling for independence, and Haiti was able to achieve independence in the year 1804. So it was 13 years after the struggle started, and it was led by our African ancestor called the Toussaint Louverture and Dessalines, who mobilized our people in Haiti, and they were able to get independence for Haiti. This independence would lead to the abolition of slavery, because they fought against Britain, France, Britain, and Spain, and they were able to defeat all these countries, which were superpowers at that time. But during this period, when they saw this opportunity for them to start fighting, they saw that there is certain events that were happening around that time. They did not have so much resources like how we have today. They didn't have the communication means, the smartphones which we have today. They didn't have, a lot of money and businesses like how we have today. They didn't have the freedom which we have today. But they were able to, to organize themselves. They were able to look at the world during that period and understand the events that were going on. And they were able to capitalize on those events. What are those events that were happening? Now, in 1791, Toussaint Louverture saw that Britain and France were fighting against each other. So in this fighting against each other, they saw it as an opportunity. Okay? So when they saw this as an opportunity, they started struggling, because France and Britain, they had become weakened through this struggle of fighting against each other. They were fighting for world supremacy and dominance. Okay, as it has been always, Britain has been fighting against each other. Britain and Europe, they have been fighting against each other. The whole of Europe has been in chaos for a very long time. So they have been fighting against each other. So whenever they are struggling and they have problems, this is the period in which our people have gone, on to see an opportunity to fight for liberation. So Toussaint Louverture and General Dessalines in Haiti, they did not have a lot of resources, but they had the determination. Okay, the determination, and then they worked together as a people. And then when they worked together, they were able to mobilize people, mere slaves. Okay, they were just slaves. So they mobilized them. When they mobilized them, they used the common weapons, stones, sticks, and they were able to fight against France and Britain and Spain, and they won a war. So for you to understand this story which I'm talking about, you need to examine a book called The Black Jacobins. This story is written in the book called The Black Jacobins by C.L.R. James. Go and Google that book. You will be able to get it. And now I will tell you why I'm bringing this history, because this history relates very much to today and what we are doing today, the organizing which we are engaging in today as Africans, as Pan-Africans, as Black people all over the earth. Because there is certain things which are going on today that are very, very similar to what happened in 1791, in the year 1791 up to 1804, before our people got independence. Now, why am I talking about history? There is a man called there is a gentleman who's called Ray Dalio. Ray Dalio is an investor. He's one of the richest people in the world. Ray Dalio today, this is what I'm talking about is today. Ray Dalio has the biggest hedge fund. Now, hedge funds are corporations or companies, investment vehicles, which invest for other institutions. Okay, so Ray Dalio's hedge fund, which is called the Bridgewater Associates, it is worth around $150 billion. So he has the biggest hedge fund. He has the biggest investment vehicle, which invests on behalf of other institutions. Now, this Ray Dalio, what he's saying today is this, that to be able to understand where you are going in the future, you need to understand history. Okay, and so for him to be able to understand how to invest and how he is making profit today himself today, he is around worth around $20 billion, he himself as a person. Now, he says that he goes way back around 500 years for him to be able to understand how to invest today, which nation to invest in. He is called a macro investor, okay, macroeconomic investor, because he invests in nations. Right now, he's investing a lot in China. So he says that you have to understand history for you to be able to invest well in the future. Even right now, that is what he's doing. He is investing, like I said, a lot of funds, a lot of resources in China. Why? Is because he's seeing the rise of a new nation. But for you to understand the rise of a new nation that is coming up, you have to examine in history, because the patterns in history are always repeated. They always repeat themselves. So that is why I went to do a study. When I went to do a study, and I studied this period which I'm talking about, the year 1791, and how it relates to the events today, I understood and I saw that there is patterns which are repeating themselves. And what are those patterns? Those patterns are the chaos in the countries that have been disturbing the world, that have been colonizing the world. In Europe, I'm talking about Europe, I'm talking about the United States and the other satellite nations like Canada, Japan, Australia, all these countries. So now, Ray Dalio says that you have to understand history. And so I went back myself and studied history. Okay, I studied the patterns of history, starting from 1791 up to 1804, when Haiti got independence. Now, I came and studied also the period of 1945. So when I studied 1945, I could see that there is certain patterns which happened. There's certain things which happened in 1945, and they are the same things which happened in the year in the year 1791 up to 1804. So the pattern of events that happened in 1945 up to 1957, when Ghana got its independence, is the same pattern of events that happened in 1791 up to 1804, when Haiti got its independence. Now, what is similar here is that we have on one side Black people who are African people fighting to get liberation. Okay, in 1791 they were fighting, to stop slavery, and they succeeded. Okay, they succeeded to a certain level, because Haiti became now, the first Black republic. Okay, so 1945, there is a certain, there is certain events also that happened that period. And Kwame Nkrumah came back from Britain, and he came back to the Gold Coast. Okay, and he started fighting, in 1947, he came back to the Gold Coast and he started fighting. And after a period of 10 years, okay, after a period of 10 years, because it is from 1947 up to 1957, that's a period of 10 years, Dr. Kwame Nkrumah in Ghana was able to achieve independence for Ghana. Okay, so that's a period of 10 years. Now, what happened in 1945 is that there was, the coming out of nations when they were coming out of World War II. Okay, the nations of Europe were weakened. Okay, they were weakened. So what did our people see also? They saw an opportunity there, and they came back. Dr. Kwame Nkrumah came back to the Gold Coast. They had the Manchester Conference of 1945, and then they came back to the Gold Coast because they saw this opportunity. They saw the opportunity that Europe now is weak, is a window for us to fight for our independence as African people. Now, how are those events, related to today and what is happening today? I will tell you what is happening today. Starting the year 2018, okay, because I'm very interested in you, the viewers of Pan-African Daily TV, understanding what is happening today. How the events in the past they relate to today. Now, starting the year 2018, there happened a financial depression, okay, what we call an economic depression. But before 2018, we had another financial crisis, the housing bubble, which happened in 2008. Now, economic depressions normally happen in a period of 10 years. In 2008, you remember there was a very big financial crisis in the Western world, which started on Wall Street and led to the collapse of certain banks. Okay, a lot of banks, collapsed, in Britain, in the United States, and then that economic depression also happened in Europe, and even it affected all over the world. All over the world, around 35 million jobs were lost. So this economic depression had a big effect on the Western world. Okay, so but which countries were the first ones to come out of this economic depression? It was China. Okay, and we have seen figures and economists predicting that China is bound to to overtake the United States as the biggest economy in the world. And these events are happening today. So starting 2008 up to 2018, that's a period of 10 years. Another economic depression happened because, like I said, economic depressions happen in a cycle of 10 years. Okay, so 2008, another economic depression happened. Now, what did these people do when the economic depression happened? In 2020, we saw the happening of coronavirus. Many people have said that this coronavirus is not an accident. There is something that is happening behind the door. Okay, these world, powers, these big economic powers and colonialists and oppressors who have been starting wars, they have been suffering economically. Okay, so that's why you have seen that coronavirus, even though they may have planned it that it should affect the rest of the world, it has affected them a lot. Look at their system. Look at the United States has lost more than 1 million people to coronavirus. So look at Africa. Africa has not lost, people to that extent. China has not lost, people to that extent. You look at Europe, the chaos in Europe, the demonstrations on the streets in France. Okay, look at Europe and how the economies are declining. I want you to pull out the economic figures of Europe to see the economic performance of Europe. The economies are contracting in Europe. Okay, so what does it show us? This shows us that there is a window of opportunity for us. There is a window for us, as Africans, as African people all over the world. In the United States, the blacks there are Africans. Okay, just like what Kwame Nkrumah said, that regardless of where Africans are in the world, okay, all people of African descent, whether they live in the Caribbean, North America, anywhere, they belong to the African nations. They are Africans and belong to the African nations. So when I use the word Africa or Africans, I mean all people of African descent and all people in Africa living on the continent. So the continent belongs to all of us. So when we are acting as a people, we need to be acting in unison. Okay, so there is events that are going on today: coronavirus, the defeat of the United States in Afghanistan, the breaking up of the European Union, the demonstrations in France, okay, Germany. The European Union itself is breaking up. Okay, They are facing a lot of chaos. Now, as if that is not enough, the war in Ukraine. So this is a war in Europe. So these events are symptomatic, okay? These events are symptomatic of a weakness in the imperialistic camp. So, and then the economic depressions, the weakness of their economies. So all these things are happening. They are showing us as Africans that we are supposed to act in a certain way. We are supposed to move in a certain way, you know, in regards to unifying our continent. We are supposed to move together. Okay. So now you will ask that what should we do about the presidents who are on the African continent, some of whom who are oppressing the African people? Okay, that is a challenge that many people fear. Okay, but I will tell you that this is something simple to deal with if we act together as African people, if we move together as African people, if we move together as the youth, if we use whatever we have, the resources we have. Like I told you, our people in Haiti in 1791 did not have enough resources. Our people in the Gold Coast and the rest of Africa did not have much like how we have today. They did not have the communication means that we have today. They did not have the jobs that we have today. They were slaves, complete slaves, you know, who were being controlled. But how were they able to stop slavery? How were they able to achieve independence for us with very little resources compared to what we have? So we have amassed up now businesses, we have some money in bank accounts, we have communication resources, we have smartphones. So all these are tools at our disposal for us to be able to unify the African continent, to struggle forward for unifying the African continent. Now, so having shown you these events and how they are happening, what are we supposed to do now? Here comes the task. We have already something that is going on. There is a lot of plans out there. There is a lot of Pan-Africanists who are on the ground doing a lot of work. I can speak of a lot of organizations. Okay, you know, Dr. Susan is starting here, Pan-African Daily TV with the Africa We Want. Okay, plenty of organizations. She has started a lot of organizations. And what do? You need to come and support in every way. Every African on this continent, every young African needs to support, okay, in the building of our continent, because the building of our continent is not going to happen by one person, by one messiah, but all of us putting together our resources, putting together the intellectual resources, the financial resources, okay, the moral support. All of these things are going to contribute to our building of the continent into a strong continent, which we want it to be. Okay, so now what are we doing today? Today we started up petitions, okay, and these petitions are to push the African Union into action. Okay, there is a lot of things to do, tremendously many things which we can do. We can push the African Union into action, because this is how even our ancestors, how they started their struggle, and we need to start our struggle today. Okay, the changes that are happening around the world, the new world order that is being shaped and is going to be led by mostly countries from Asia. Okay, because there's a power shift that is happening. The countries that are going to lead, you know, the new world order, they are not the Western world, you know, countries which you are seeing. They are not the Western world, America, China, and America, Europe, and Canada, and Australia, and all those countries. They are not the countries which are going to lead the new world order. The countries that are going to lead the new world order are in the East. Okay, so if there is a shift in power that is happening, so we as Africans also need to position ourselves so that we can build a new continent, because we have gotten a window of opportunity. Those people who have been oppressing us as Africans, now they have been weakened. Those people who have been stealing our resources, they have been weakened. What do we have to do? Okay, we need to rely on ourselves as Africans. And then we need to engage in what is called strategic relationships with the rest of the world, because we are part of the world. You all have heard of the world called the global village, the new global village, because the world has become small due to the advances in technology and communication. Now, it means that you can communicate speedily. You look at this channel today. Look at the Pan-African Daily TV today. It can reach millions of Africans and millions of people across the world, with a mere broadcast. It can reach thousands of people, in a mere broadcast. Okay, so these advances in technology, they have compressed the world into a small village. Okay, they have virtually compressed the world into a small village. So we are part of that village. That means as we act with independence, with independence and independent African mindsets, with Pan-African, thought, okay, as we build a new continent built on African ideals. I'll paraphrase Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed, of Ethiopia. He said that we need to build a new Africa built on Pan-African ideal or ideals of Pan-Africanism. Okay, so as we build a new continent, which is, built on the foundations of the ideals of Pan-Africanism, then we need also to understand that this new continent needs to engage with the rest of the world strategically, not as friends. Okay, I want you to differentiate between friends and strategic allies. Okay, so we need strategic partners, okay, not friends. So Africa needs strategic partners, and those strategic partners are the only people who will be able to fulfill, also to look at us with respect and fulfill our desires as Africans. Okay, not for us, but to work with us. Okay, we give and they give. Okay, we give and they give. So this is what they call yin yang. Okay, so we give them something, but they also give us, not a relationship where we have nations that are willing to steal from Africa, for 600 years, for 500 years, for 400 years, for 30 years, for 50 years. No, those kind of relationships have to stop with Africa. Now we have started up petitions. And one of those petitions is that we want to collect 1 million signatures, just like Dr. Susan, and Pan-African Daily TV. They have launched a campaign for 1 million subscribers for Pan-African Daily TV. And I want to remind you that if you have not subscribed to the channel, try and subscribe to the channel, or share the channel with around 5 of your favorite members, or 5 of your favorite contacts. Take the link and share it with them and tell them to subscribe to the channel, because we are looking for 1 million subscribers by the end of the year. And this can be done because we have a continent of 1.4 billion people. If you add the African diaspora, that's 1.7 billion people. So 1 million people is not too much for Dr. Susan to ask for, the person who is serving us as Africans, who is working for us. Now, we have started up a campaign of 1 million subscribers, okay? 1 million subscribers on this channel, but also we have started up another campaign of 1 million, more than 1 million signatures on a petition. And that petition is to be presented to the African Union. Okay? That petition is to be presented to the African Union. That petition is being backed by Pan-African Daily TV and Dr. Susan. Okay? So what they are asking you is you just go and sign on to the petition. The petition is going to be posted, in the comments link down in the description link. So go out there and sign that petition. That petition is to pressure the African leaders and the African Union to stop all the wars on the African continent. Okay, that is what we are doing. That is what we need to do, we as African people. That is what we need to believe that can be done. We need to believe that we as African people, we can do it. We can transform this continent by ourselves. Okay, so this is what we have started. The petition is backed by Dr. Susan and Pan-African Daily TV. The petition is also backed by the P.L.O. Lumumba Foundation. Professor P.L.O., yes, you've heard me right. Professor P.L.O., the famous Pan-Africanist, he saw this initiative that we started and he said he will back the youth. Okay, so at the back, of this petition is strong Pan-Africanists, and a lot of Pan-Africans are still, coming on board. A lot of Pan-Africans are coming. They are coming on board to back this petition. So we are saying that if this petition, which is for pressurizing the African Union and the African heads of state and the regional bodies, East African Community, ECOWAS, okay, and the SADC, and COMESA, and all the other Maghreb countries, the northern African countries, Algeria, Morocco. By the way, there's no Middle East in Africa. So all the countries, whether Morocco, Algeria, Egypt, all those belong to Africa. Those are African nations. Libya, those are African nations. There's no Middle East in Africa. So we are working to push the African Union into action to stop the wars in the African continent. That is the first petition which we are working on, and it is backed by Dr. Susan Pan-African Daily TV. It is backed by the PL Olumumba Foundation, okay, and it is backed by a lot of other Pan-Africanists, and you will be, hearing them in due time. But this is what we are doing. Now we have a second petition also, which is for unifying Africa under one currency and under one passport. And this is something which all Africans desire. All of us Africans desire that we should have one passport for all of us Africans. Okay, why should we not trade, under one currency? Okay, we should be trading under one currency, and these are not things which should wait anymore. Okay, we as Africans, we are saying that we should not wait anymore. Okay, the time for waiting is not there because of the speed at which the world is moving. The events that are happening in the world, they cannot allow us to wait. So that is why we are saying that support, we are pleading with you, okay? We are asking you, and even we are requesting you everything which you know that we can do. If it is asking you, if it is begging you, if it is pleading with you that you should subscribe, to this channel, we should beg you and plead with you and ask you that you should go and sign the petition. We are doing it. And like I said, the description, check the description. You will see the petition put in the description for us to be able to, to move forward with Africa, for us to act. This is the action that we have been looking for, okay? And this movement is being led by the youth. So let's do it as African youth. Let's do it together. African youth on the continent and African youth in the diaspora. Like I said, around 400 million people of African descent in Brazil, in the United States, in all over the Caribbean, in Europe, in China, in India, all over. You need to come together and then act. And we are acting right now for our own good, for the good of the Africa we want, for the good of the Union Government of Africa we want, for the good of a single African passport we want, for the good of a single African currency we want, for the good of stopping wars on the African continent, for the good of a prosperous and renaissant Africa that we want. I want to thank you all very much. I will be going for a short break, and I will be coming back. And when I come back, I would like to translate and simplify my presentation in my local dialect, in my local language. So this innovative idea that Dr. Susan has developed, whereby we should be able to communicate in language, in two languages at the same time. You communicate in English, and then you come back and speak to your own people from your tribe around the continent, your own tribe, your very tribe around the continent, and your nation, where you come from. For example, we would say, the Luganda. Like when I come back, I will be speaking and interpreting what I've spoken right now and simplifying it and summarizing it in Uganda, so that the people who are from Uganda, the place where I was born, even though I consider myself as an African, as we all should, because I want to see a union government of African, states, so that we belong to one union government. I come from there. That is where I was born. So I want to speak to my people, my language, so that they can be able to understand. This is the first time this thing has been done in all of history, okay? This is where you present in English or you present in French, and then you come back and present in your local language. It has never been done before. It's very interesting. It's very interesting. And this is the channel to be. Invite all your friends to come and subscribe to the channel. Come in, subscribe, like, and comment, because the more you comment, the algorithm on YouTube will be able to recommend the videos to other people out there, so that the African movement, the African youth, and our voices can be heard more. We need to speak out more as African youth. And since these platforms that have not been there have arrived, then we need to do it more. We need to represent the African continent. Okay, so this is what I'm saying, that subscribe to the channel, like, comment, and sign the petition. Thank you very much.
After centuries of misguidance caused by slavery, colonization, lack of awareness of our history, and institutional disinformation, a new Africa is on the move, determined and getting organized. Afrika tuko pamoja. Welcome to the United Kingdoms of Great Africa. The United Kingdoms of Great Africa is the credo of the alliance movement of all African intelligences around a common ideal, the unity and development of a strong, conquering, and completely dedogmatized Africa through the channel of a strong organization called the Africa We Want Global. You are an African, Afro-descendant, researcher, historian, scientist, or simply an NGO. You want to be part of this great historical march towards the total freedom of an uninhibited Africa? Visit our website www.africawewantglobal.org. Register and discover the range of our platforms for change. AfricaWeWantGlobal.org. Join the kingdom, be part of it. An initiative of Dr. Susan Tata.
You are watching the Pan-African Daily TV with Dr. Susan Tata.
Yes. We are back. My name is KWAME GONZA. I'm on Pan-African Daily TV. Like I said, if you have not subscribed, try and subscribe to the channel. Share it. Invite your friends. Invite your contacts. Okay? 5 of your contacts, your best contacts, your favorite contacts. Okay? Send them the channel and encourage them to subscribe, and let them also encourage their friends. As you invite them, encourage them also to invite their friends to subscribe to this channel. This has never happened before in the history of the African continent. We have never had a media platform like this before. Okay, so all African people, if I'm speaking with the urgency, if I'm speaking with a sense of urgency, it is because the affairs and the situation of our continent is dire. Is because the situation of our continent is not good. We have seen Africans falling in the Red Sea, okay, going to Europe, trying to find a better, life, better salaries. So if I'm speaking with a sense of urgency, then it is because the situation of our continent is not good, and the situation warrants, urgency, in action. And that is what we are doing today. So go on and subscribe to the channel. Share it with your friends, okay? And then sign the petition. Sign the petition to stop the wars. Like I said, Pan-African Daily TV is here for us. So I'm going to translate this to my local dialect. So if you have a Ugandan friend, tell them to come and watch and listen, so that they will be able to hear someone speak in their local language. So this one, right now, I'm going to start speaking in Luganda. So I'm speaking to the people in Uganda. Kakati, Chembadde njogerako olwaleero wano ku Pan-African Daily TV yatandikibwa Dr. Susan Tata, and Dr. Susan Tata ali mu Germany. Yatandika channel eno okusobola okuweereza abantu abafirika. Okay, so sagala kugamba nnyo nti baddugavu, manyi bw'oyogera ennyo nti abaddugavu omuntu alina engeri gyakiwuliramu, kiyinza obutamusanyusa kale. Bwe nayogera kanjogere bwentyo kiyinza obutakisanyusa muntu. So njagamba abafirika, so tubadde tutunuulira wawe tuli mu history ng'abafirika, okay, ng'abaddugavu kale katutitwaliraawo ng'abaddugavu. Kati Dr. Susan yatandika channel eno, nga channel eno yakuweereza ki bafirika, okay, kutuweereza mu ngeri nti ayagala kuleeta information, okay, information ekwata ku baddugavu, oba naffe twogere eri ensi ebitukwatako, kubanga ebbanga ddene tubadde tulaba nti companies oba emikutu gy'amawulire nga CNN oba BBC nga gye gitwogerera. Okay, so kati nasalawo atandike channel eno. Kati mu kutandika channel eno Dr. Susan n'agamba nti abaddugavu fenna oba abafirika tujje wano twogere ebitukwatako, tusheyaringe nti gwe woba oli mu Uganda otegere kiri mu Cameroon, okay woboli mu Cameroon otegere chini Nigeria kubanga ebintu ebiriyo ebigenda mu maaso oba ebiri mu Ghana bikukwatako naawe ali e Uganda kuba birina engeri gye biku affectingamu oba engeri gye bikukwatako okay birina engeri gye bikukwatako so bwe biba bikukwatako then kiba kitegeeza oyina okupaying attention oyina okutega amatu owulirize oyina okubeera concerned oba nina gamba nti oyina okubeera concerned okay so kati nga bolaba ebintu ebiri Ukraine kati ebiri Ukraine biku affectinga bitya gwe nga ali e Uganda tukirabye nti bwe baba lwana olutale eyo amafuta geeyongera okay so amafuta bwe gaba geeyongera kiku affectinga gwe ali e Uganda so kiba kitegeeza nti olutalo bwe luba luli e Libya kati nga bwe tulina president Muammar Gaddafi yali president wa Uganda I mean yali friend wa Uganda yali mukwano gwa Uganda mukwano gwa president wa Uganda era yalina investment nnyo mu Uganda kiba kitegeeza nti Libya webe yingiddemu olutalo nawe lugenda ku affectinga gwe mu Uganda okiraba kubanga Libya webe li mu lutalo amafuta geeyongera waggulu nga wolaba kati ekiri Ukraine nti Russia erwana ne Ukraine kakati kiba kyongera amafuta ne gagenda waggulu kati kiba kiku affectinga gwe sente zosasula okulinya taxi okuva obe nakawa ogende mu kibuga oba okuva eKalerwe ogende mu kibuga okuva ebwayiise okuva ekatwe ogende mu kibuga obeera olina engeri gye affectinga so yasalawo n'atandika channel tubeerenga naffe tutegeera ebikwata ku nsi yaffe kubanga Africa banga ddene babadde batwogerera bwogerezi nga batunyigiriza kale abazungu bano bolaba ab'Ebulaaya nga wolaba Britain Germany abo bonna ab'Ebulaaya abo nga batunyigiriza nga batubba okay mwawulirako bino hamu byali alwana gundi nga alwana nezibanka nga bamubba sente bazungu batubba ezo banka zolaba ziri awo ez'abazungu zitubba banka zaffe eziriko bazikola kusinga so naye twatuuka tutya okubeera wano we tuli kakati njagala kugendako mu history mangu ngenda kuddukamu mu history mangu mu myaka so nkulage we tuli leero so wano we tuli leero twatuukawo tutya ate na kiki kye tulina okukola mu budde buno kubanga waliwo abasajja abatandika olutalo okay emabegako nga ffe bangi tetunazaalibwa nga ne bakadde baffe tebanazaalibwa baliwo kati batandika olutalo nga balwanirira Africa ebeere free okay Africa ebeere mu ddembe abantu babeere nga bakola ebyabwe nga tebasumbuyibwa nga si baddu kubanga Africa yatuuka ekiseera ng'eri mu buddu kakati kankutwale nkutunuzeemu otegeere nga bwe byatandika kakati mu myaka gya 1600 okay njogera myaka 1600 emyaka nga 4 emabega okay nga almost abagundi abawalabu bo baali bamaze okujja mu East Africa kubajjukira abantu abasooka okufuna contact n'abaddugavu ne Africa baali bawalabu n'abachina era basookera ku East African coast mwabasoma history mubimanyi bulungi nti mwasoma ku history ya slavery abawalabu we bajja ne batwalanga abaddu okuva mu East Africa okuva mu nsi ezo za Congo South Sudan ne Uganda weri awo na so be basooka naye mu myaka gya 1600 naddala mu mwaka 1619 abaddugavu abasookera ddala batwalibwa okuva mu nsi za West Africa mu nsi naddala nga Ghana ne Gambia ezo Nigeria ne Cameroon ezo kakati bwe batwalibwa mu South America mu nsi ezo zowulira America Haiti ezo zonna kati bwe batwalibwa eyo ne batandika okukozesebwa nga abaddu ne bazimba ensi kakati bwe bawaayo amaanyi gaabwe gabwereere okay bakolera bwereere nga tebasasulwa nga tebakubibwa nga battibwa n'okuttibwa so batwalanga abantu nga babajja mu Africa yazimba Bulaaya yonna gy'olaba ne America eyo bwekyo kuba bakozesanga maanyi gaabwe ne balima ebikajjo wawulirako bino slave in America working day kakati bwe buyimba nti bakolanga mu bikajjo working in sugar and tea when I was in America kakati bwekyo bwe kyali nti babatwala ne bakola okumala emyaka mingi kakati bwe wayitawo emyaka egiwerera ddala almost emyaka nga 300 emyaka 300 nga tutuuse mu mwaka nga 1791 waliwo abaddugavu abeekwata wamu mu nsi eyo nga bagiyita San Domingo, ensi gye bayita Haiti olwaleero. Kakati ojja kwebuuza lwaki Haiti leero njavu nnyo. Haiti njavu nnyo kuba abaddugavu, abazungu tebaagala muddugavu agaggawale. Okiraba, baagala kunyuunyunta balunyuunyunsi nga bw'olaba nti bw'olyo kye bayita parasite, enkwa eyagala kunyuunyunta nga yo tessaamu. So abaddugavu baayimuka ne batandika okwerwanako. Kakati mu kwerwanako kuno jjukira kwe batandika mu San Domingo egyolaba Haiti, baakuba Bulaaya, baakuba England, ne bakuba France Obufaransa, ne bakuba Spanish, okay, ne bakuba Spain aba ba Spanish, bakuba ensi 3 ate nga tebalina byakulwanyisa byali awo ebyali ebyamaanyi. Tebalina byakulwanyisa byamaanyi biryawo, bakozanga mayinja biti, majambi ebyo. Ne bakuba Napoleon ogwe muwulira gwe bawaana mbu yali wa kabinya. Napoleon yali mulwanti, abaddugavu baamukuba ne bamuwangula. Kakati we baawangula, kakati ebiseera ebyo we baawangulira waliwo events ezaaliwo, waliwo ebintu ebyali bigenda mu maaso ebyali bisurrounding ebbanga eryo, nti Britain oba Bulaaya yali erwana ne Bufaransa nga baagala buli omu ayagala abeere w'amaanyi mu nsi. Kati mu kwagala kuno okubeera ow'amaanyi mu nsi, abaddugavu baalabawo ka chance nti bano bali mu kulwana. Jjukira nti waliwo olugero olugamba nti abooluganda ababiri bwe bakubagana ne balwana nti oba if 2 elephants fight, it is the is the grass suffers, but at the same time if brothers fight, it is the neighbor who inherits. Okay, the neighbor inherits their property. Nti abooluganda babiri bwe balwana ne batingana, okay, nti muliraano yatwala ebintu byabwe kuba baba bafudde. Kakati abazungu we balinga nga balwana, abantu baffe ne balaba akawaganya ne batandika nabo okukola ki, okulwana. Kati balwana Haiti nefuna ki, nefuna obutwaze, ne batandika okwetwala nebeera nga yafuuka First Republic mu mwaka 1804 mu mwaka 1804. Okay, so ne bafuna. Kakati bali ensonga eyabawanguza lwakuba nti bano abazungu bali mu kulwana. Kakati ekyo kitutwala ku mwaka 1945. Kati mu 1945 nawo bali bava mu World War II, abazungu nga bava mu kulwana, balwana nnyo ne batingana, era n'abaddugavu abamu bagenda ne balwana. Kati abaddugavu bwe bakomawo mu Africa ne bagamba bano abazungu betulabye nga bafa ku lutalo ku war front si bakabi nnyo, naffe tusobola obalwanisa. Kakati ne bagamba abazungu bagende. Kakati kwe batandikira, abantu we batandikira ne batandika okulwana. Kakati batandikira mu Gold Coast wano mu Ghana, era wano mu Ghana wendinze. Okiraba wentudde history weziri wano. Kati we omusajja gwe bayita KWAME Nkrumah we yatandikira olutalo naye mu 1947 n'alwanisa abazungu. Kakati mu kubalwanisa kuba be bali batwala Bungereza, be bali batwala Uganda, Abangereza be bali batwala Ghana gye bali bayita Gold Coast, be bali batwala Nigeria, be bali batwala Uganda, be bali batwala Kenya, be bali batwala Zimbabwe, bali batwala ensi eziwerako. Ne Germany nayo yali eri ku siding ensi zeetwala, ne Bufalansa ng'etwala ensi nga Guinea, etwala Ivory Coast, zitoge ezo zonna ng'etwala ensi eziwerako, Algeria. Okay, neri ne wabayo guy gwe bayita King Leopold, naye yali atta abantu naye mu Congo. Okiraba, kakati Nkrumah n'atandika olutalo, yasooka n'atandika okulwana kuba yali musajja mugezi nnyo. Kakati mu kulwana Nkrumah yakitegeera nti alina okusupportinga ate n'Abannayuganda abalala n'Abafirika abalala abali mu kulwana. So yali mukwano nnyo gwa Dr. Milton Obote oyo Nkrumah. So Nkrumah ono mu kubeera mukwano gwa Milton Obote, even Dr. Milton Obote bwe yawasa mukyala we mukyala we gwe bayita mukyala we n'afa mu Buganda, mwerabidde erinnya, bagenda honeymoon yaabwe yali mu Ghana. Kakati Nkrumah yawaako ne Uganda sente za cooperative union. Ezo sente zolaba ze batandikisa cooperative unions mu Uganda zaali za Nkrumah. So Nkrumah yayamba nnyo abaddugavu, n'ayamba Guinea. Abafalansa bagenda kubanga Guinea yafuna independence, bagenda ne batandika okwonoona ebintu byonna, ne bayonoona ama office, ne bayonoona railways. Nkrumah n'agendayo n'abawa sente 10 million pounds. Ebiseera ebyo zaali sente nnyingi nnyo, n'abawa loan, n'ajja sente za Ghana n'azibawa. N'atandika okutandika amasomero mu Ghana, n'atandika okutandika amasomero agatendeka abantu abagenda okulwanirira eddembe mu Africa. abagenda okulwanirira okugoba abazungu ne ba training abazimbabwe omusajja nga Robert Mugabe ya trainingibwa Ghana bamutrainingira Ghana ne ba training aba South Africa so banji biba traininga so Nkrumah n'abalwaniza naye bwe tugenda mu mwaka 45 awo okutegera ebintu ebyali bigenda mu maaso biki ebyali bigenda mu maaso mu biseera ebyawo mu Ghana mu nsi yonna so bali bava mu World War II abazungu nga banafuye abaddugavu ne bagamba wano waliwo akawaganya na katubalwanise. Okay, so lwaki nkuleetera ebintu bino mbikuleetera lwakubanga njagala otegeere nti ebyagenda mu maaso ebbanga eryo si byanjawulo kubigenda mu maaso leero. Waliwo abazungu kye bayita psychology oba walifa abayivu si abazungu si bagalira ddala kakati waliwo abayivu kye bayita psychology eza history atambulira mu psychology kakati nti history oyo waba atambulira mu psychology zino otunulira events no soma notegera kye kigenda okuddako okitegeera kakati mu mwaka 2018 waliwo ebintu ebyaliwo nti waliwo financial depression mu America ne Europe era kati bw'otunulira ku economy zaabwe zishrinkinga oba bakiyita zinafuwa okitegeera ate ng'egyo emyaka ejali 2018 economy za Africa zali zimuka waggulu zigenda waggulu okitegeera so mu 2008 waliwo economic depression yali ey'amaanyi ennyo nga economic depression zino nazo zitambulira mu bbanga lya myaka 10 so mu 2008 waliwo emu eyali ey'amaanyi ennyo eyaffectinga mu America ne banka ezimu ez'amaanyi enkadde ne zikolapsinga then etugenda mu 2018 after 10 years emyaka 10 nga zizeewo ne wabeerawo economic depression endala negwawo kakati bwe balaba nti economic depression egenda kwonoona economy za Bulaaya nti ensi zonna zigenda kwonooneka e Bulaaya nti zigenda kugwamu entalo bagenda kuba enjala egenda kutandika obbaluma mu 2020 ne baleeta coronavirus okutulimbalimba okubuzaabuza ensi naye ate ebintu nga binaabasoberako ne coronavirus ate yamala n'akosa bo kubanga ojjukira nti baali bapredictinga nti coronavirus agenda ku devastatinga Africa kubanga bo baali bamanyi kye bakola naye Katonda yatubikako akasubi Katonda bwe yatubikako akasubi twasobola okuyimirirawo Africa yasobola okuyimirirawo kubanga Katonda yali agiviseeko akasubi okiraba so coronavirus ate yagenda n'affectinga bo kati kino kiki kyetutulaga kino kitulaga nti waliwo ebintu ebigenda mu maaso nti fenga abaddugavu tulina okubaako ne bitutandika okukola kakati nga bino bintu byetutandika okukola birina kubanga bigatta ensi yaffe Africa okay bigatta Africa ng'ensi tulina okuva mu busiisisi buno obutono bwe tutambuliramu kuba bunafu tebusobola kulwanisa muzungu buno obusi nga kasinga ka Uganda nga ka Kenya tekasobola kuyimirirawo ne kalwana na America akamu akasinga ka Zimbabwe akasinga ka Togo oba akasinga ka Ivory Coast zino zonna tulina kuzizimba ne tuzigatta wamu nebeeranga nsi nebeeranga olaba states nga California okitegeera nga kati nga Uganda ngeringa nga state bolaba ngeringa Los Angeles oba California okitegedde nga ziringa states nga Ghana ezo zonna ziringa just states so nga tulina president omu nga tulina amagye gamu bwe tuba tulina amagye gamu we tulina ejje limu we tuyinza okusobolera okulwanisa omuzungu tetusobola mulwanisa kuba atubba mubbi omuzungu mubbi okiraba kati buno obubbi tetusobola kubulwanisa we tuba tetulina ejje limu kati ng'obubbi obuli e Libya nti we bajjako president Muammar Gaddafi batandika okubba ne bali mu kubba amafuta babba ne golodi kubanga president Muammar Gaddafi yali alina goldi mungi ngayagala kutandika ki Central Bank of Africa batekemu golodi oyo tutandike nga esente zaffe za golodi nga tugwisa golodi so twali tugenda gaggawala nnyo kye balaba kino ne bamutta ne babba golodi kati bali mu kubba ne oil kakati fe okusobola okuyimiriza abazungu bano obubbi buno tuba tulina okukwatira wamu tulina okuzimba Africa nga nsi emu kakati tuba tulina okuddayo ku birooto oba ku vision ku biruubirirwa ebyaba Pan-Africanist abasookawo abasajja abafirika abalwanyi bali abatandikawo kiki kye baayagala okuzimba Africa ebeere baayagala okuzimba Africa ebeere ensi emu okay abasajja nga Kwame Nkrumah abasajja nga be bayita ba Marcus Garvey abasajja nga be bayita ba Chika Anta Diop Chika Anta Diop mwawulirako ko nga bamwogerako waliwo Ugandan scholar of African Studies ekibulankuba bamuyita kibulankuba waliwo omusajja gwe bayita kibulankuba ayogerako ku Chika Anta Diop ayogerako ku Kwame Nkrumah ayogera ku Nyerere Julius Nyerere aba basajja bayagala bazimbe Africa ebere nsi y'amaanyi nga wolaba China nga wolaba United States nga wolaba European Union. So kakati waliwo ababalemesa abazungu babaliwanisa ne babajjako nga wolaba Nkrumah bamujjako na maje basponsoringa ka group akamaje ne kamujjako kubanga yali alwanirira nnyo Africa ebere nsi emu ebere y'amaanyi ebere ng'esobola okuprotectinga resources zaayo. Kakati kiba kitegeeza nti events ezaali awo ziri simira kuziriwo kati. So kati Africa y'empya tuba tulina gizimba ku kirooto ekyo tuba gizimba ku biruubirirwa ebyo ebyatandikibwa abasajja banga ba Marcus Garvey Kwame Nkrumah ba Julius Nyerere. Mwawulirako Museveni ng'ayogera ku Pan-Africanism yeeyo Pan-Africanism bulijjo gy'ayogerako tetulina kuzimba Africa tube ne government yemu lwakuba nti ye ali siro Museveni nga ye ali siro okitegedde ali siro ate abyogerako bwogezi tateekamu maanyi ate concentrating nnyo ku East African Community. Kati East African Community tekimala kaba katono tulina kukwata Africa yonna tugizinge wamu nga Nkrumah bwe yayagala myaka 6 emabega. Nkrumah yayagala okugizingako Africa ebere ensi emu ey'amaanyi myaka 6 emabega. So paka kati tubadde tukyalinda. So obudde bwe buno kati tulina kwatira wamu wano. Kakati events ezo zenkulaze ezirigenda mu maaso America okuluzinga olutalo mu Afghanistan ne bagikuba neddukayo America okuluzinga economy eshrinkinga kati wogenda mu nsi nga Detroit obwavu bungi buyitiridde mu America bogenda ku streets mu Los Angeles California abantu basula ku nguudo mu streets eyensi gyolaba mbungagga tebakyali bagagga baavu kati obwavu bubatta ne Europe bwokebera ku economy zaabwe zishrinkinga lwakuba bana baddugavu abalinga ba president lwakuba bana ba president baffe wano mu Africa batitizi kakati bagala omuzungu bakkiriza omuzungu n'abatula ku mutwe buli kiseera kakati fe bwe tuba tuzze nga generation empya ey'abavubuka okuva mu myaka naddala nga 35 myaka 35 okuka wansi eno ku myaka 12 kati yeyo generation ejje genda okuwanirira Africa. So tulina concentrating out fefenna tulina okukwatira wamu oba oli mu Uganda oba oli Kenya oba oli Zambia oba oli Ghana oba oli Nigeria fefenna abaddugavu ne bw'oba oli mu Bulaaya ng'oli muddugavu tulina kwatira wamu tulina kolera wamu okitegedde tulina kolera wamu ng'abaddugavu kuba tuli bamu tuli omuntu tuli omu oli omuntu omu kati olaba ng'ebintu ebibaddewo ng'e-Ukraine nti tebasosolamu bwe balanga batusosola ng'abaddugavu tebagamba nti ono mu Nigeria ono mu Uganda oli mu Zanzibar oli mu South Africa batwalira wamu baddugavu nti abo tobakkiriza kulinnya train. So tulina kolera wamu tuba tuzimba Africa nga Nkrumah bwe yagamba bino ebyabana bagala okuzimba obusiisisi obutono bu Uganda bu Kenya butititi abo baveeko abo balwanira bu Uganda balwanira bu Togo obwo tebusobola kulwanisa muzungu tebusobola kukompitinga tebusobola kuzimba economy competinga n'abazungu. So tetusobola kuzimba technologies ne tuzireeta wano ma high speed training nga kugola be China okuzimba ennyonyi ezaffe. Okay, twetaaga ne tuzimba ennyonyi ezaffe okuteekawo amafactory nga gaffe nga baddugavu be bagaddukanya si bino byakugamba mutulinda foreign investors. Okay, obwo budde bw'okulinda ba foreign investors bulina okuvaawo tulina kwezimba ffe bennyini baddugavu okitegedde amafactory tubenga ffe go owning olabe ennyonyi ng'eva mu Africa nti the plane is made in Africa whatever it is oba ennyonyi tuyinza ogituuma fero nga wolaba zi Boeing nga wolaba zi Airbus olabe mmoroka nga zikolebwa nga mu Uganda nga wolaba nti Kira Motors nti emmoroka eve mu Uganda ng'egenda kutundibwa mu nsi yonna emmoroka eve nga olabe Nigeria waliwo omusajja gwe bayita Innoson kakati akola Innoson vehicles Ghana waliyo gwe bayita Kantanka vehicles. Okay, nti Africa tubenga tusobola okukola ebintu bino naye tusobola kubikola bitya tulina kujja wamu tukolere wamu economy yaffe nga Africa eri around $3 trillion. Okay, so economy ebe eri $3 trillion siba kimala economy yaffe ebe esinga ya Britain ebe esinga ya France ebe esinga ya India $3 trillion. Okay, so tuba tusobola competing nga bwe tuziteeka awamu ate kati kino ekintu kirina agenti kyekisinga obukulu nti kino kintu kiri agent titulina kikola kati tulina kujja wamu tukolere wamu kakati obulaba Pan African Daily TV ezze kakati gisharinge gamba abantu basubscribinge okay basubscribinge balikinge bakommentinge osharinge mu bana Uganda bonna bategere nti Pan African Daily TV ezze kubanga yo ezze kukolera abaddugavu teze kukolera abazungu zino zi CNN zi NTV ezo zolaba zikolera abazungu NTV si abaddugavu NTV evayiri eri Kenya simani ya Aga Khan bichi ebyo okay TV ntono nyo bank ezo tulino zimbe ezafe so ba investors tulina kubeera febe nyini sibi abayindi Uganda nga olaba sukali wa controlling abayindi most of the manufacturing okay banka za physical controlling abazungu okay cement wa controlling abazungu Torre Cement abasajja the people who own Torre Cement bali mu Bulaya okitegede you know still rolling mills okay bana bakola sitiru bana abaseguku okay bayindi so economy yafe yone twaliddwa bayindi so si kyanjawulo mu nsi endala eza Africa kati wogenda nge South Africa economy yona n'abazungu bagisalako kati wogenda nge Ghana ba Lebanese n'Amerika basalako economy beba controlling buli kimu mining ebyo golodi kakati tulina okukyusa ebintu bino naye tetusobola bikyusa okujjako nga tuzze wamu nga ne tufuna Union Government of African States so kakati kiri waliwo ebintu bye tutandiseewo mwawulirako omusajja gwe bayita Pierre Lumumba neno Pan African Daily TV twatandise petition nga petition eyo kyegamba nti tugenda kupushinga abakulembeze ba Africa tugenda basindikiriza ne African Union eno eri Addis Ababa tugenda basindikiriza basobole okuyimiriza entale zimu mu Africa zonna so petition eno boji signingako obo contributing that is your contribution nti ekiriwo nti tutandise omulimo so Dr. Susan ne Pan African Daily TV basobodde okukola ki okusupportinga kino kyetuliko kyetukola Professor Pierre Lumumba oyo we Kenya gwowulira Pan Africanist atero okwogera atusupportinze naye ne ba Pan Africans bangi nnyo okuva America Bulaya Britain Jamaica wona bali ku board ba supportinga so gwe kyoyina okukola genda bugenzi mu comment section wano ne mu description o signing petition eyo ya kutambula mu bwangu kakati tulina ne petition endala nti ya kusaba tuberenga tulina passport emu mu Africa wabine bitu babadde babikolako naye nga birisiro kakati tetwagala basindika babikoleko kati Africa tubenga tulina passport emu nga tutambula na passport emu nga tetulina East African passport nga tetulina passport ya ECOWAS naye nga tulina African passport emu nga wogenda wona mu Africa teri bya kusaba gundi visa okitegede kati nga bwola nti Uganda ne Ghana zilina arrangement nti tebakusaba visa wobo yagala ogende e Ghana uve Uganda wobo yagala okuva e Ghana ogende Uganda tebakusaba visa so arrangement eyo je twagala arrangement eyo so katulina petition zino nti wogenda mu description wano no signing a petition eyo obo contributing nze kakati nekirala nti oyinza reaching out to Dr. Susan no sindikayo kakasente kona kolina kyolina $1 $2 no contributing ne kisobola okutuyamba for college ne milimo ne tugenda mu maaso nga tusindika bana abakulembeze batuwe ebintu bye tulina ebitugwanira kakati lwaki bitugwanira kubanga obudde buno bwe tulimu bakazigizigi nti ensi zino ziri mu buzibu kakati bwe ziba ziri mu matigga buno bwe budde bwe tulina okukola ki okubanga tulwana ngafa abaddugavu nafe ne twerwanako ne tufuuka b'amaanyi okitegedde kakati kiriwo nti musubscribing ku channel ate musharinge n'abalala kubanga ni channel ereta bintu bya makulu tereta bintu bya budingo bya muzanyo kubeera kuzanyikiriza kuononera budde wabula ekuletera ebintu ebifa mu nsi n'ebikwata ku baddugavu ebikwata ku bafirika okitegedde ebikwata ku nsi za Africa ebizikwata ku bafirika ng'abantu kubafa bamu omufirika yenna ali mu Ghana ali mu Ivory Coast yomu nawe ali mu Uganda omufirika ali mu Kenya yomu n'abali Tanzania abali South Africa feba mu so tulina kukwatira wamu tulina okuyijjamu obusosoze ne tukwatira wamu so Uganda yemu ne Ghana Uganda yemu ne Nigeria so obusosoze tulina bujjawo ne tutandika okukwatira wamu ng'abaddugavu ne tulwanira wamu ne tulwanisa omuzungu ne tulwanisa n'ensi ziri endala zonna ezaagala okukola ki otufuula abaddu n'okubba ebyaffe eby'obugagga kati nga golodi waffe bw'omulaba kati abayindi bonna bajjudde mu Uganda n'ensi ziri endala eza East Africa Kenya batwala okiraba kakati abazungu bajjudde eri mu West Africa ne mu South Africa babba batwala kakati tulina okwerwanako tulina kujja wamu naye okutandika tutandise okusindikiriza abakulembeze tulina bapressurizinga ne tubateeka mu position we tuba tusandi tebalina we bekyusiza nti balina okutuwa byetwagala naye kati twagala tufune about a million twagala tufune million subscribers tufune million subscribers ku channel no naye twagala tufune ne million people basigninge ku petition egenda kubeera mu description wano wansi wano so signing a petition yeyo obengo contributing so kyekyo gye tukusaba wano ku Pan African Daily TV so tukweyanziza nnyo okubanga obaddewo ku channel no ng'otuwuliriza oteeze bulungi mwena mbalamusiza abali e Uganda greetings okuva Ghana eno era Ghana eno mbatumidde nnyo abantu abali e Ghana babatumidde nnyo mwena muli baddugavu fenna tuli Africans there is nothing different and tulina okuzimba Africa empya nga tugizimba ku what they call the ideals of Pan-Africanism ebiruubirirwa ebyomuddugavu omuzungu alekere okujja nga atusindiikiriza nga bajja n'ebye World Bank ebyo ebitubbye ebyo bibanka byebitubbye okusinga bitubbye ne bitwavuwaza newankubadde tubadde tuwerwanako naye nga bitubbye bye bibanka ebisinza okutubba so omuzungu talina magezi gatusinga tulina amagezi so twerwaneko naye nga mu kwerwanako kuno tulina kukolera wamu ng'abaddugavu era naddala abaana abato abavubuka mwenna mulina okujja tulwanire wamu kubanga fe generation eddako mulina okuva ku bana abakozesebwa abazungu nga bajja ne bonoona ensi bakuba bomu bakola bino bakola biri bakola buvuyo ebyo tulina obivaamu okay tulina tambulira wamu ng'abaddugavu mu Africa okay so tulina okutegeera what Pan-Africanism is awo tebajja kusobola twawula mbu mulimu NUP mulimu FDC nedda mulimu NRM tuba tutegeera nti tuzimba Uganda naye nga Uganda gye tuzimba tugitwala mu Africa tuzimbira mu Africa tuzimbira mu strong Africa okay because we want to have Africa as a strong state okay so we want to have Africa as a strong state with one military emu ejerimu ne bank emu ne foreign policy emu nga tulina representative omu ku United Nations fenna abaddugavu bano betulina bonna okumpi atano mu 55 betulina 55 betwasindikayo ng'ensi za Africa 55 bona tulina bajjayo ne tutwalayo omu so I want to thank you all the people from Uganda and I want to thank you all people who are watching Pan African Daily TV like I said subscribe. I want to thank Dr. Susan and Pan African Daily TV. I want to thank PLO Lumumba Foundation, and I want to thank all the Pan-Africans around the world, and I want to thank all the African people around the world, on the continent and in the diaspora. The diaspora Africans are very, very important. For a very long time, the diaspora Africans, they are the ones who have led the struggle, like I was saying, from 1791. They have led the struggle for African emancipation and freedom. Okay, so the struggle for African emancipation has taken place more outside of Africa, and it has been carried out by the African diaspora, in the Caribbean, in the United States, more than it has been carried out on the continent. So I want to recognize their contribution, and I want to say that all people of African descent, whether they belong, they belong whether they are in North America, whether they are in the Caribbean, whether they are in any part of the world, like Kwame Nkrumah said, they are Africans and belong to the African nations. We need to work together, sign the petitions that are down in the description, as Dr. Susan has put them, and then let's move forward as we build a new Africa, the Africa we want, the prosperous Africa, the new Africa, that is renaissant in every way, technologically advanced, and the Africa that is owned by Africans, factories that are owned by Africans, high-speed trains that are owned by Africans, aeroplanes that are owned by Africans and manufactured by Africans. We should have our own planes as Africans. We should manufacture our own planes as Africans. We should manufacture our own vehicles as Africans. And the time is now. The time is now for us to act. So sign the petition right now and make your contribution. If necessary, send that dollar, send that $2, send that £3, send that £40, send that £100 and $100 to Dr. Susan, so that you can contribute to this struggle that we are waging. 1 million, as we stop the wars in Africa, 1 million as we ask for a single African passport and a single currency in Africa, 1 million people as we demand for a unified African government, in Africa. Thank you very much. Subscribe once again. And my name is KWAME GONZA. I thank you very much and have a good night.
You are watching the Pan-African Daily TV with Dr. Susan Tata. The Africa we want: unity, consciousness, our culture, our spirituality, our history. One Africa for Africans worldwide. Motherland's calling its diaspora home. Join my voice. Join my team. Join my campaign. Campaign 21 hashtag 1 million subscribers on the Pan-African Daily TV YouTube. Be a volunteer. Apply now. Be the new Africa.
centuries of misguidance caused by slavery, colonization, lack of awareness of our history, and institutional disinformation, a new Africa is on the move, determined and getting organized. Afrika tuko pamoja. Welcome to the United Kingdoms of Great Africa. The United Kingdoms of Great Africa is the credo of the alliance movement of all African intelligences around a common ideal, the unity and development of a strong, conquering and completely dedogmatized Africa through the channel of a strong organization called the Africa We Want Global. You are an African, Afro-descendant, researcher, historian, scientist, or simply an NGO. You want to be part of this great historical march towards the total freedom of an uninhibited Africa? Visit our website www.africawewantglobal.org. Register and discover the range of our platforms for change. AfricaWeWantGlobal.org. Join the kingdom, be part of it. An initiative of Dr. Susan Tata.
You are watching the Pan-African Daily TV with Dr. Susan Tata. The Africa we want: unity, consciousness, our culture, our spirituality, our history. One Africa for Africans worldwide. Motherlands calling its diaspora home. Join my voice. Join my team. Join my campaign. Campaign 21 hashtag 1 million subscribers on the Pan-African Daily TV YouTube. Be a volunteer. Apply now. Be the new Africa. You are watching the Pan-African Daily TV with Dr. Susan Tata. The Africa we want: unity, consciousness, our culture, our spirituality, our history. One Africa for Africans worldwide. Motherlands calling its diaspora home. Join my voice. Join my team. Join my campaign. Campaign 21 hashtag 1 million subscribers on the Pan-African Daily TV YouTube. Be a volunteer. Apply now. Be the new Africa. You are watching the Pan-African Daily TV with Dr. Susan Tata. The Africa we want: unity, consciousness, our culture, our spirituality, our history. One Africa for Africans worldwide. Motherlands calling its diaspora home. Join my voice. Join my team. Join my campaign. Campaign 21 hashtag 1 million subscribers on the Pan-African Daily TV YouTube. Be a volunteer. Apply now. Be the new Africa.
Greetings, welcome all. Talking to you tonight is Petrina Shindi, all the way from Namibia. I'll be your host for tonight. Remember, I was here last week as a young executive from the Pan African Daily TV, telling you about the activities that we are so far carrying on. We are busy with the recruitment, and I'm here to give updates of what we have been doing in the past week. In the past 6 days, we're busy with the recruitment, and so far we have recruited we have representations in about 21 countries in Africa, and we have representatives in Sudan, Cameroon, Eswatini, Tanzania, Zambia, South Africa, Botswana, Nigeria, Uganda, Sierra Leone, Burundi, Swaziland, Cote d'Ivory, Malawi, Tunisia, Kenya, Zimbabwe, Namibia, Philippines, and Dominica. So within 6 days, we have recruited or we have representatives or representations in 21 countries. So we have Pan-African Daily TV communities in those countries. We are moving really on a very fast pace, and that is what we need as Africans. We need to unite. And as we are busy creating a solidarity network galaxy, because we know there is no power in being disconnected, and disunity only makes us powerless, and that's what our colonizers want. You remember the Berlin Conference in 1884 to 1885, when our colonizers set to cut Africa into pieces. They knew that a divided nation is an easy nation to conquer. And that's exactly what they did. Now, as Africans, we need to understand where we came from. We need to know our past. Why are we this divided today in our continent? For us to be able to know what to do, for us to step out in this disunity. So when you know your history, you understand why we need to unite today. And it's of these reasons that Pan-African Daily TV is building a digital media trying to connect Africans on the continent and its diaspora for us to start showcasing what unites us. We need to know, we need to get to know each other. As Africans, we only need to, we are only going to unite if we know and understand ourselves from our different cultures, traditions. So we need you and I to start now coming on the show to tell us your stories, what you are doing in your communities, and that will help us to unite. When we understand each other, when we understand ourselves, we need to know our diversity and embrace it. Because if I do not know what the culture of my brothers in, let's say, Cote d'Ivory, I will not know, or I will not see the need of me uniting with them or coming together with them. So it's of that purpose that Africans, or we have this platform that will bring or connect Africans. We showcase what we need as, we showcase our talent, our culture, our traditions. That will then help us to unite, because we'll then understand each other better. But if I am in this village that was created or crafted by the Berlin Conference, my colonizers, and they call it Namibia, I will feel, okay, this is Namibia is a country, and then a friend or a brother, a sister, my brother or my sister from Tanzania or Tunisia, when they come to Namibia, we feel like they are foreigners. And that is what we want to end by connecting ourselves. We need to connect. We need to start engaging ourselves as Black Africans and embracing our culture, our traditions. We need to understand our roots. And we need to remember to connect to those roots. Only then will make Africa great again. So other nations are united and their countries are developing. We are not developing because of the disunity, and we need to start loving ourselves as people of melanin. Now, with that have been said, it's of these reasons that Pan-African Daily TV is building a digital a digital media, which is now connecting us, as I said. It's connecting us worldwide, not just people on the continent. No, our brothers in the diasporas also need to know that we are here and we want to unite with them. And I mean, they understand themselves better than us on the continent, because you'll find us on the continent fighting each other because we do not understand ourselves. We do not know our roots. And this platform is helping us to connect to our roots, for us then be able to welcome each and every person of melanin. So we are building a Pan-African Daily TV community, and we want this community represented in all 195 countries in this world. You know, we have 54 countries in Africa, we have 48 countries in Asia, we have 44 countries in Europe, we have 53 countries in Latin America and in the Caribbean, we have 14 countries in the Oceania, we have 2 countries in Northern America. All those 195 countries in this or on this continent or on this planet need to have representatives of Pan-African Daily TV. We are all over. Africans are all over. They are all, you will find Black people in all those 195 countries in this world. And we need to connect with them. So each and every one of us now needs to be part of this community. So what are you waiting for? You need to join today. You need to be our volunteer. So join the community. We are talking about 1212 Ubuntu. We are building galaxies, making sure that we are connected. And in our unity, we will then be a strong nation that will be able to build the Africa that we want. So we need to start telling our stories. And we have the platform. This is the platform that we have. So when we used to tell our stories on other people's platforms, they cut us off. When you are telling the truth about Africa, then they disconnect your account. They don't want to hear you talking about the truth. Talking the truth about yourself. They don't want that, because they don't want people to wake up. And a woke nation cannot be conquered. So as Africans listening to me today, you need to wake up. You need to know that Africa is all that you have, and you need to build it. I want us to quickly look at our education system. Our education, the current education system that we have in Africa, is not doing us justice. They are teaching us to memorize things about them or things about Africa that is not true. And when you are telling the truth, you fail, because that is not what they want you to know. Now, in this process of memorizing nonsense, they will then, we are actually not learning anything. We are not learning anything because we are only being prepared for the examination. The education system is not preparing us for life. And as we are connecting, as we are waking up, and as we are taking up leadership positions, young people of Africa, we then need to come together and look at those things. We need to prepare ourselves for life, not for examination rooms. So our education system needs to change because, for example, here in Namibia, we have minerals under the soil, and we have educated people in that field that are able to explore and find those minerals. But because of the education system, the theory that we are learning in those classrooms, they are not preparing us to build our economy as a continent. We keep on having people coming outside Africa to find minerals that are on our continent under our feet, and then they will tell us they discover those minerals, hence it's their minerals. I was shocked to hear my president travel to Qatar, and he's there telling the nation that Namibians should not feel or get excited about the oil that was discovered in Namibia because it's not theirs. I was like, really, my president? And these are the people that we sent, or these are the people that we sent to represent us. These are our leaders, so-called leaders. And then imagine they are on international platforms telling us that minerals in Africa are not for Africans. Yes, we know, we see that countries like Congo, DRC, there are oil that was discovered in there. There is oil in Nigeria. There is oil that was discovered in Mozambique. But you look at the life of those people in those countries. Rich countries. Africa is so rich, but you are very poor. Her kids are suffering. African children are suffering, but they are sitting on a rich continent. But because the education system only taught us theory, they only taught us to memorize things. They did not prepare us to get on the job or to get our hands on. We don't know how things are done. That's why we cannot even find our own minerals. We'll wait, we fold our hands and wait for somebody to come from Africa, from outside Africa, to come tell us that where you are sitting, there's oil. And when they discover this oil, they'll give you 10%. But these are your resources. I was very much disappointed hearing my president saying all that. Namibians shouldn't get excited. It's not their, or the oil discovered is not yours. Now, these are the people that represent us in those meetings. They talk about Africa. And you wonder what they discuss there. It's a pity. And as Africans, young Africans, we need to stand up now and get involved. We know they fought for our freedom. Yes, we are free now. We say we are free because we are flying those flags. But economically, are we free as a continent? We are not. And that is what our colonizers want. They do not want us to be economically free. They want us to keep on depending on them. Is a tree that is in Africa bearing fruits, but those fruits are not beneficial to Africans. It's for the outsiders, for our bosses. Here we only have managers like our presidents. They are supposed to be our leaders. They are supposed to preserve our resources. But they are also folding hands to say, no, we did not discover those minerals or resources. We know we have them, but we don't know exactly where they are. So we'll need somebody from somewhere to come tell us that they are here. And since you did not discover them, they are not yours. So those are the things that we need to look at. The education system. And these things can only be changed by us young people when we stand up, we unite, we also sit down like those people that sat in 1884 and 1885 in Berlin to decide about the fate of Africa. So we need to unite like them. They came together, those nations came together, and they divided Africa amongst themselves. So as Africans, we also now need to unite so that we preserve our resources, so that we preserve our continent. We need to keep Africa safe. As I said, we are creating the Africa we want. And it's not going to be done by me or the team that we are currently have. We have so many Pan-African teams or groups on this continent. We are speaking the same language, but still we are not united. So we need to unite only then, because with the division that we are here now having, Namibia, Botswana, Eswatini, Tunisia, we are not going to get the Africa we want. We are not going to, with that, we are not going to make Africa great again. Only when we are united. So we are here calling on you, each and every one of you watching here today. You need to join the team wherever you are. As I said, for the past 6 days, we only have 21 countries that joined, but we need to have representations in all 195 countries in this world. We need to be, Pan-African Daily TV need to be represented in every corner. And I've said this last week, and I'm repeating it again. What are you waiting for? Join today. Be our volunteer. If you are not probably going to have time to do the work or to get actively involved, you can provide or avail your resources, and then we'll make it happen. Be the part, even if you are not actively involved, you need to be part of this community. We are talking about Africa. And Africa is you. How is Africa going to be great again if you are not involved? You need to get involved now, today, so that then we change things that need to be changed. So as they say, if you want to see change, or for you to see the change that you want to see, you need to be part of the change. I mean, you need to get involved. And we are calling on you, my brothers and sisters on the continent and outside Africa, to be part of the team. So you might be a talented African. Africa have talent or got talent. We want to see your talent. You reach out to us, tell us you want to showcase your talent, you want to showcase whatever you are doing. We need to show the world what we are doing in our communities, in our villages. They need to know. So we can only know when you bring your talent to this media platform. Reach out to us. Maybe you are a musician. Maybe you are an artist. You do craft work. Come show your talent. We want to get to know you. Let's connect. We need to get to know each other. Today, you know Petrina Shindi because I came on the studio or on the show. So you also need to get here so that we get to know you. And that is how we are building the community. We need to know each other in this community. So join the team. Only then, when we are united, we can also now make this continent great as we want it to be. We are fighting for economic freedom, which that is the only freedom that we don't have. We have freedom of speech. I'm here now speaking as much as I want, but economically we are not independent, and we can only free ourselves from those chains of economy when we unite and we understand what we need to do as Africans, starting with the education system, as I said. But then we cannot see the change that we want if we are only preaching about it and we are not getting involved. We need to get involved. We need to sit on those decision-making tables for us to air our views, for them also to be able to hear what we want as young people. Our elders were there yesterday. They are here today, but tomorrow they are not going to be there. So we need to be around them so that we give them our ideas, so that they tell us what happened yesterday, for us to be able to know our past. We are here today with them. Obviously, we are involved in the today. But in the past, we were not there, and we need them to guide us. The guidance, it's not going to be provided in the schools that we are attending. It's with our elders. So we need to start sitting with them. They have the true education that we need, not this, what we are getting from schools, which are not even African schools. So the knowledge, the wisdom that we need is with our elders. Now, while they are there and they are in leadership position, we need to be around them. And then we learn, we tap from their tanks of wisdom for us to be able to move forward without them, because they might not reach the future with us. Because, I mean, we are mortal beings. Our time is limited here on earth. But you would not know the journey to the future if you did not walk the journey from the past with your elders. So for you to know what need to be done, you need to educate yourself. So it's about time that we unlearn and relearn and learn ourselves. The picture that we have about ourselves, it's not what we are. Today we undermine ourselves as a Black person. You look down on yourself because that is what they want you to do. They told you you are nothing, Black people are nothing, they are inferior, they don't know anything. And that is how you look on yourself. We need to change that as Africans. We need to start believing in ourselves because humankind started in Africa with people of melanin. Humankind started with you. And the moment you look at yourself and believe that you are the God, then nothing is impossible. Then you will start to do wonders. Nothing will limit you unless you limit yourself as a Black person. Why would you want to limit yourself? Even in this world of knowledge, information is everywhere. Educate yourself about yourself. And then you learn to believe the person that you are. You are not inferior as they made you believe. You are stronger than what you think. You just need to stand up, get up, and do what is expected of you as a Black person. Last week I told you there is no Jesus coming to save us, Black people. We have to do it ourselves. And the time is now. Africa is waiting for her children in the diasporas to do something. Come back home. We are waiting for you. And the good thing is that people in the diaspora understand us best or better than ourselves. It's us, people on the continent, that we need to start loving our brothers and sisters outside the continent because they are all from here. Every Black person that you are seeing on this world, be it in China, because we have Black Chinese also, they are all from Africa. And those are our brothers and sisters. Only when we are united, we can do great things as Africans. This continent is not going to go or to be developed with this unity. The disunity that we are in now needs to end. And it can only be ended by you that you are watching today. It has to start with you. Young people of Africa, I'm calling on you to stand up. This is the fight that we are fighting now. Fanon said every generation has a struggle to fight. Our generation is to unite as a people. The past generation fought for our freedom. They were in the forest fighting with guns and all sort of weapons that they needed to fight for Africa to be free. But now it's our generation to fight for the economic freedom that we need. That fight needs to be fought by everybody. Young people, as I said, get involved. Get involved. Join the team. Pan-African Daily TV is waiting for you to be part of this process of creating the Africa that we want. Why are you sleeping? We are waking you up to join the team. Get up, get involved. So, maybe just to remind ourselves, Africans, you as a person with melanin, you need to remember that humankind started in Africa, and it started with you. You are the thinker who thinks, the thoughts that makes things. And I would love to repeat that. You are the thinker that thinks, things that makes things. You are the thinker that thinks, the thoughts that makes things happen. You are with the first frequency of humankind. You are one with the first thought of ideas. You are one with the firstborn people. You are one with the only one. 1212 Ubuntu. Join the team. Let's make our continent great again. If you get involved, then we understand each other, then we connect, then we'll not be able to fight one another, because now we understand we are from the same, we are branches of the same tree. We need to reconnect to our roots. Only then the unrest in Africa will end. We'll not start fighting each other. We'll not be convinced to fight each other anymore, because we understand that we are a people. We are one person. When you understand the concept of Ubuntu, I am because you are, then nobody will convince you to do unthinkable things. Like we have our brothers and sisters fighting each other because of the outsider's influence. When you understand yourself, nobody will tell you otherwise. You begin to love yourself. You fall in love with your skin color. You won't even think of bleaching your skin. You won't even think of putting on those other things that are not part of you. We need to start understanding ourselves as Africans. We need to ask ourselves questions. Who am I? And when I'm saying who am I, I'm not looking at my name, my nationality, my ethnicity. No. As a person, who are you? Those are the questions that we need to start asking ourselves. Only then we'll start to understand ourselves. Now, as a person, as an African person, we are disconnected from ourselves. Because they know when you understand yourself, when you know yourself better, they cannot tell you otherwise. They started uprooting you as an African person. They destroy your culture, your religion, your everything. And then they tell you, throw it away. Those are not nice things. And then they introduce you to things, foreign things, that are not part of you. We are today practicing their culture in our religions. We are Christians now today because that is our colonizers' culture. And when we are practicing our very own religion, our very own culture, it seems to be demonic. But that is what makes you a person. That is what defines you. That is what makes you strong as an African person. Knowing that you are part of something big. It will help you to understand or to stay connected, to help you to understand yourself. And you start valuing who you are. And nobody will even convince you or tell you, no, you cannot do this or you cannot. No. When you know who you are, when you know the God in you, trust me, you unite this continent. You make Africa great again. So we need to start there. And as we are starting there, we need to be part of a community. And then we learn together. And then we relearn together. We unlearn some of those things together. So that we have a common understanding of who we are as a person or as a people of Africa. People of Africa are not just on the continent, as we all know. Our brothers in the diasporas know better. And I am calling on them to come on the program and also to start now giving us lessons on ourselves. Because many of us don't know who we are. As we are teaching ourselves about ourselves, we are telling the world who we are. And then they will start accepting us as who we are. When you are outside Africa, they don't say you are from Namibia or Uganda or... No, they see you as an African. I bet you have seen how our brothers and sisters are being treated in Ukraine. When they want to free the war, they are being discriminated against. They are not saying, no, you are from Zimbabwe, no, come here. No, as long as you are a black person, you are not part of us. Now, if they don't want us to be part of them, why can't we create our community that we will be comfortable living in as black people? It's our responsibility. Nobody else is going to do it for us. It's our responsibility as black people to create that conducive environment for every black person to live in. And that is Africa. Let us build our continent. Get involved. So with that being said, I'm calling upon each and every young person. And we are not only looking at young people, we are also looking at any or elder African people. The elders can also join us and guide us on this course that we are undertaking. Everybody, as long as you are a black African or a black American or black Chinese or black Asian, be part of the team. Support the young executives. Support the young people that are trying to create the Africa that we want. We cannot do it by ourselves. We'll need your support. We'll need your guidance as our elders. Join the team. Be part of this team. We need your wisdom. Walk with us while you are still here so that we will know the journey or the way to the future. that will be tomorrow, and probably tomorrow you won't be here with us. Guide us so that we'll be able to guide ourselves and the generations to come. The purpose, the aim is to create the Africa we want, or to make Africa great again. You can be part of the team. You can reach out to us on Pan African Daily TV. You can send us an email, or you can actually just reach out to me directly on my mobile phone, which is +264 81 21 01 200 +264 81 21 01 200, and then we connect. It's a team. As I said, Ubuntu. Thank you very much for watching. I will see you on my phone as you are reaching out to be part of the team. Thank you. Moshiwam.
You are what
Otuljapa hatu onga ovanyasha tohala Afrika ayambuke ponatang. Tuninge oshilongo shetu shikale oshiyamba ngashi shili shashitwa oshiyamba. Ohatu pula keshe on Namibia apopi elakali hanji popi peife ngaha ajoine ilo aninge oshiljo sho ngudu yetu ilo sho part of Pan African Daily TV. Otwahala mutu joine tuwaimineni kumwe opo tudule okupopya nokuyanja uyelele uli monjila kombinga ya Afrika. Kutya omnona ilo mkulunu otekutelela shashi akulunu onye munu uyelele utapumbwa inima imwe katuina unongo katuina shashi moskola mutwali na ilongwamo. Onye inimai oteikalo ilo hatu unongo hatu mono kuja kunye akulunu. Onye hatu pula akulunu muye mutu waimine se unona twahala okuyambula po Afrika ngashi alinale. Elalakano okuyambula po Afrika otwamanguluka shilio hatu tuliko mapandela. Nde otuna oshilongo Afrika shina ejo shayambekwa nejo dihapu. Ndene ejo do kadiri muwana wawetu nonando diri moshilongo shetu. Otulimo hatu sonjala mu Afrika ngengo atalenga shikilongo ye DRC no pe Mozambique opo no pe Nigeria opo ngashi no opo pamoniko maholi oshiwano shili moluhepo oshiwano tashi sonjala. Ashike Afrika okuna omaliko. Onye otwahala okukufa ongatu ilo twakufa ongatu twahala okuninga Afrika oshilongo shiwanga shishali. History otitulombwele kutya inima isha yatameka mu Afrika. Ngengo atalo kuno pyramid yatungwa mu Egypt. Yatungwa ka Afrika muuyuni winya onale. Hano ngengo hatu popi emanguluko ilo development yatameka mu Afrika. Otwahala okutala Afrika manga itaina yuya mkwali. Afrika okuitava veli mongalo yiwa sheshi peife konyuma yita tuli natango mu koloni na tumanguluka ejo detu doshilongo taditutwamo oshilongo sha hepa katuna eliko kalimo ashike ejo modili edidi na kutupeliko. Otwahala ne emanguluko lopaliko likale la lukila mu Afrika ngashi nale tuitwa manguluka kati hatukala moluhepu hatukala monjala. Unyo hatu pula keshe ompopi oshiwambo eldi mo Namibia ilo kuli konje ya Namibia. Nde oudite elakali hanji popi. Ninga oshiljo sho community yetu. Ondinde tongenda ilonda onda handu kifa kon president wetu oshilongo. Eli konje yoshilongo kokata. Ndotalo mbwelu unyuni kutya vacho maholi ya manika moshilongo mo Namibia kesha Namibia onyina tunya kukwa. Ejo detu dili moshilongo shetu. Ngashi ngeno una epsaloe muno mahanja ndeta kujono te akumono mahanja moshilongo shoye medulo endo tolongolwa kutya mahanja okeshoye chashi omwakala munjino amona. Otopewa po nuupresenda bashona befika apa. Ejo taditutwamo moshilongo omanga tuna aleji ogo benangeno kukalekapo ejo detu moshilongo. Ndovo valite tulongele kutya inatunya kukwa kati detu. Oshimasho osho twahala okuhulifapo onga ova Namibia ilo ova Africa. Otuna ova Africa vahapu veli konje ya Africa no mu Africa yo milongo yo twatopolwa yo kontumba waliko momayovi 1884 1885 ko Berlin. Ovakatumba kolonyeki vetu vakatumba ndeta tete Africa mu pisa owe kufapo shinya ave kufapo owa kufapo kalongwaka shasho veshishi kutya ngenge twatopoka nena katuna sha tuduru kuninga. Onye beife otwa hala kuja momo kutopokamo. Nde hatui tungu ukuni kumwe onga ova Africa. Keshika pati yange onga Africa. Nde hatutamekeni okulongela kumwe tudule okutunga oshilongo shetu sha Africa. Otitatameka no kuta ovanu papola anu vatameke okuya vakale iljo yo keisho ngudu nde eitingipsan yo grupa yetu Pan-African Daily TV. Fio papa pefo tuna ilongo milongo mbali n'imwe yakalelwapo munyuni. Tuna ngashi ilongo iyo konje tunamo Dominic and Philippines muna anu vetu kalelapo onga young people. Milongo ya Afrika tunamo sofa ilongo iljo nlongo nongoi. Ashike munyuni unyunya ushe kumomuna ilongo efere no milongo ngoi nanano omoto hala keshe moshilongo. Omuna onkalelipo wetu wa Pan-African Daily TV. Opoike hatudulu okuya kumwe. Onye ohandi pula vaholike ileni tuwe minineni pamwe ngenge ito dulu okumone fimbo kukala nase efimbo nefimbo wiyambe otodulu okukwafa nasho. Elalakano twahala tutameke nyokuya ko programa aku okuulika italenti yetu onga a Africa. Toya pamwe ohodengo kangoma, ohodana idano oshiwambo, ilo hoimbi, ilo honingi tevo, neno twekutelela. Otapumbwa okuyanja efano la Africa ngashi lili konjoko. Nde osho shina kutameka nave. Ngenge wakufa ongatu nde tokala oshiljo ilo tokufa ombinga miinyangadhalwa yetu. Pauhupi pamwe nandjanje kongodzi yange ohatu tikile natango nokukuta ilo tatelela mujoine ongodzi yange 081 21 021 200 plus 264 21 081 081 2 081 021 001 no mafele javalji. Oko hidru kumonika ko ame hidru ne ngengo ako ngonga me hidru ne kukutula ke grupa detu. Thank you, Nene. Thank you very much for watching. See you again. In the meantime, enjoy your evening or whatever time you are finding yourself now. Thank you very much. Tuning out, Petrina Shindi from Namibia.
After centuries of misguidance caused by slavery, colonization, lack of awareness of our history, and institutional disinformation, a new Africa is on the move, determined and getting organized. Afrika tuko pamoja. Welcome to the United Kingdoms of Great Africa. The United Kingdoms of Great Africa is the credo of the alliance movement of all African intelligences around a common ideal, the unity and development of a strong, conquering and completely dedogmatized Africa through the channel of a strong organization called the Africa We Want Global. You are an African, Afro-descendant, researcher, historian, scientist, or simply an NGO. You want to be part of this great historical march towards the total freedom of an uninhibited Africa? Visit our website www.africawewantglobal.org. Register and discover the range of our platforms for change. AfricaWeWantGlobal.org. Join the kingdom, be part of it. An initiative of Dr. Susan Tata.
You are watching the Pan-African Daily TV with Dr. Susan Tata. The Africa we want. Unity, consciousness, our culture, our spirituality, our history. One Africa for Africans worldwide. Motherlands calling its diaspora home. Join my voice. Join my team. Join my campaign. Campaign 21 hashtag 1 million subscribers on the Pan-African Daily TV YouTube. Be a volunteer. Apply now. Be the new Africa.